part 1 of this story, we see that Leela ran in and told her mother about that Siddha know the moon. So now next, at dusk he carried her in and she held a class of for him. She had a box filled with catalogs, illustrated book and stump of pencils. So actually Leela make a class for Siddha. Actually Leela who study for her, and she wants to teach Siddha whatever he taught. So it gave her a great joy to play the teacher to Siddha. She made him squat on the floor with a pencil between his finger and catalogs in front of him. She had another pencil and a catalog and commanded, "Now write." And he had to try to copy whatever she wrote in the page of her catalog. Actually, whatever Leela draw on his catalog, so Siddha had to do the same. She knew 2 or 3 letters of the alphabet. Actually, Leela is new but she know 2-3 letters and she wants to teach Siddha, and could draw a kind of cat and cow. But none of those could Siddha even remotely copy. She said, "Examine his effort. In this how I have drawn the cow. In this how I have drawn the bee." She pitied him and redoubled her efforts to teach him. But that good fellow, thought an adept at controlling the moon, was utterly incapable of playing the pencil. Consequently, it took as though Leela would keep him there, pinned to his seat till his stiff, inflexible wrist cracked. So that was a very painful for Siddha. He shouted relief by saying, "I think your mother is calling you into dinner." So Siddha wants a relief. So she makes some argue like, go with your mom. Your mom is calling. So Leela would drop the pencil and run out of the room, and the school hours would end in this way. After dinner, Leela ran to her bed. Siddha had to be ready with a story. So every day he had to tell some story. He sat down on the floor near the bed and told incomparable stories of animals in the jungles, of gods in the heaven, of magicians who could conjure up golden castles and fill them with the little princes and their pets. Day by day, she clung close to him. She insisted upon having his company all her working hours. So Leela can't live without Siddha now. That's the situation. She was at his side when he was working in the garden or chopping wood, and accompanied him when he was sent on errands. One evening he went out to buy sugar and Leela went with him. So both are going to buy some sugar. When they came home, Leela's mother noticed that a gold chain Leela had been wearing was missing. "Where is your chain, Leela?" Leela looked into her shirt, searched and said, "I don't know." Her mother gave her a slap, "Sat," and said, "How many times have I told you to take it off and put it in the box?" "Siddha, Siddha," she shouted a moment later. As Siddha came in, Leela's mother threw a glance at him and thought the fellow already looked weird. She asked him about the chain. His throat went dry. He blinked and answered that he did not know. She mentioned the police and shouted at him. She had to go back into the kitchen for a moment because she had left something in the oven. So she go back to kitchen and Siddha is in fear. Siddha is in trouble. Leela follow her, whining, "Give me some sugar, mother. I am hungry." So Leela also go with her mother. When they came out again and called, Siddha, Siddha, there was no answer. Siddha had vanished into the night. Mr. Sivshankar came home an hour late, grew very excited over all this, went to the police stations and lodged a complaint. After her meal, Leela refused to go to bed. I don't sleep unless Siddha come and tell me story. I don't like you, mother. You are always abusing and worrying Siddha. Why are you so rough? But he has taken away your chain, dear. Let him. It doesn't matter. Tell me a story. Sleep, sleep, said mother. Attempt to make her lie down on her lap. To think of a story now. Her mind was disturbed. The thought of Siddha made her panic. They follow with his knowledge of the household. The fellow with his knowledge of the household might come at night and loot. She shuddered to think what a villain she had been harboring all those days. It was God's mercy that he had not killed the child for the chain. Sleep, Leela, sleep, she casual. Cannot you tell the story of elephant? Can't you tell the story of elephant? Leela asked. No. Leela made a noise of depression and asked, why should not Siddha sit in our chair, mother? Mother did not answer the questions. Leela said a moment later, Siddha is gone because he wouldn't be allowed to sleep inside the house, just as we do. Why should he always be made to sleep outside the house? Mother, I think he is angry with us, mother. By the time Shivshankar returned, Leela had fallen asleep. He said, what a risk we took in engaging that fellow. It seems he had an old criminal. He had been in jail half a dozen times for stealing jewelries from children. From the descriptions I gave, the inspector was able to identify him in a moment. Where is he now? Asked wife. The police know his hunt. They will pick up very soon. Don't worry. The inspector was furious that I didn't consult him before employing him. 4 days later, just as father was coming home from the office, a police inspector and a constable brought in Siddha. Siddha stood with bowed head. Leela was overjoyed. Siddha, Siddha! She cried and ran down. She steps to meet him. Don't you near him, the inspector said. Don't go near him. Shh, stopping her. Why not? Siddha asked. He is a thief. He has taken away your gold chain, dear. Let him. I will have a new chain, Leela said. And all of them laughed. And then Mr. Sivshankar spoke to Siddha, and then his wife addressed him with a few words on his treachery. They then asked him where he had put the chain. I have not taken it, Siddha said feebly, looking at the ground. Then why did you run away without telling us? Asked Leela's mother. There was no answer. Leela's face became red. Oh, policeman, leave him alone. I want to play with him. My dear child, said the police inspector, he is a thief. Let him be, Leela replied, highly. What a devil you must be to steal things from such an innocent child, remarked the inspector to Siddha. Even now it is not too late. Return it. I will let you go, provided you promise not to do such a things again. Leela's father and mother too joined in his appeal. Leela left disgust with the whole business and said, Leave him alone. He is not taking the chain. You are not at all a reliable presumption witness. Okay, so you are not at all a reliable prosecution witness, my child, observed the inspectors humorously. No, he hasn't taken it, Leela screamed. Her father said, baby, if you don't behave, I will very angry with you. Half an hour late, the inspector said to the constable, take him to station. I think I shall have to sit with him tonight. The constable took Siddha by the hand and turned to go. Leela ran behind them, crying, don't take him, leave him here, leave him here, leave him here, leave him here. She clung to Siddha's hand. He looked at her mutely, like an animal. Mr. Shivshankar carried Leela back into the house. Leela was in tears. Every day when Mr. Shivshankar came home, he asked by his wife, any news of jewelry? By his daughter, where is Siddha? They still have him in the lockup, though he is very stubborn and would not say anything about the jewel. And Mr. Shivshankar, wow, what a rough fellow he must be, said his wife with a shiver. Oh, those fellows who have been in jail once or twice lose all fear. Nothing can make them confess. A few days later, putting her hand into a tamarind pot in the kitchen, Leela's mother picked up the chain. She took it to the tap and washed off the coating of turpentine on it. It was unmistakably Leela's chain. When it was shown to her, Leela said, give it here, I want to wear the chain. How did it get into the tamarind pot, Leela? Mother asked. Somehow, Leela replied. Did you put it in? Asked mother. Yes. When? Long ago. The other day. Why didn't you say before? I don't know, said Leela. When father came home, was told, he said, the child must not have any chain thereafter. Didn't I tell you that I saw her carrying it in her hand once or twice? She must have dropped it into the pot sometime. And all this bother on account of her. What about Siddha? Asked mother. I will tell the inspector tomorrow. In any case, we could not have kept a criminal like him in the house. So this is all about in the story, and the last line is very pathetic. When Mr. Shivshankar replied, I will tell the inspector tomorrow. In any cause, we could not have kept a criminal like him in those. So criminal of what? Why Mr. Shivshankar telling him a criminal? He is not even stealing that chain. So this is a short story and a very pathetic story of Siddha and Leela's friend. So this is how this story is become the Leela's friend, and it's taken from the Malgudi days, that short story collections. This is also a short story, and there are many questions will be asked, some long, some broad. So go through with the test papers and question bunch, so it will help you to answer all those questions, and all the questions are mostly belong to this text. So if you read this text once or twice, you will get all the answers by the way. And so this is all about, this is the English, and I will make a Bengali version of this video. If you request me, then I will explain all of this by Bengali one by one. So that's all from my side, and thanks for watching, and keep watching, and we will come back with the next story, is karma. So we have a next story is karma. We will move on to that in the next part of this video. So thanks for watching and keep watching.